there and I was busy. I was on top of the man. I was busy. And the next, I could feel, it's like I felt as if cold water burnt me. Like, you know. But now remember, in the dining hall, if you've been to synagogue, you know, there's always an urn that's boiling with hot water, 24/7.
Yeah.
So I think that woman went there, took water, and then she came.
That's his wife.
Yes, and splashed me, you know. And when I was splashed with that water, so I quickly got dressed, and then I ran down. So I ran and I reported this incident, right? And then I was taken to Daddy's office, TB Joshua's office. And I explained what happened. I remember I had to, yes, I had to take off my dress to show my bums, because now I started getting, you know, after being burnt, So I started getting boils on my buttocks. And then this side, I've just fornicated. This side, my bums are boiled. I was flown back into South Africa. So I flew back to South Africa, and I remember I was taken to one of the private clinics here because I had 3rd-degree burns. And when I was released from the private hospital, I had to go home to heal. So if my mom and my siblings can remember this, I would walk around the house naked because I couldn't. It needed to be exposed to cold air because it would damage itself and do whatever. And every time I was told, when you are asked what happened, you must say you were walking past the urn and the tap of the urn burst and the water burnt you. That was the narrative they gave you. That was the narrative of my story.
What did TB Joshua say to you when you met him in the office and you were showing him your buttocks?
When I showed
just a few hours ago, check your YouTube channel at Vimbas on YouTube, as well as TikTok, Vimbas TV, and Facebook, Vimbas. HSA posted a video of some people alleging say Prophet TB Joshua be against them. HSA they spoke to BBC. BBC promised said they will release that particular documentary into the public domain. There is this lady B HSA ononso about kasa Ediafa Prophet TB Joshua or say she's a South African, of course. HSA only Prophet TB Joshua Jumape, according to her, also serve or the Synagogue Church of All Nations as a maid. Now or allege say a Prophet TB Joshua abortion man pain. Now Prophet TB Joshua pain to some big men and sponsors of his church. Or having sexual moment with this man in same P. Just a revelation how they told out there. Emu dry intimi and narrating nina mamo until say beshe video no in full. Some people are asking simple questions. Say a damn bonnet and a Prophet TB Joshua people are throwing these stones towards him even at his grave. Now, enyasem ketwakra and a trendy on social media. So concerning Prophet TB Joshua, ansana yebeshe video no in full. Yakaimo semon subscribe ma Vimbas on YouTube. The more videos ebebremu inti here mo subscription as a form of support. Moma enko tie video ni munsem na yebeto amoso.
So I remember at synagogue, and then I had an abortion at the synagogue.
How did it happen? Who did you sleep with?
I was sleeping with one of the camera guys, you know, and I also slept with Daniel Wiseman. He's a wise man now. His
Daniel.
name is Daniel. He's a wise man now. He's Daniel. So I was pregnant.
So hold on.
I laugh because I've slept with most of them, and for me, I remember those. And maybe you ask yourself, but where did you sleep with them? Right? If you know synagogue, there are places that nobody knows where the disciples sleep. We've got our own dormitories and visitors' quarters. Most of the time, visitors are not there. So in between thingies, we know our signals. So we go, we do our thing, and we out. So when I discovered I was pregnant, I remember I confided in one of the sisters. I think it was Sister Yetunde or Lamide, someone there. And I told them this is my situation. I was taken downstairs to the nurse. There's a nurse there in synagogue, and I had an abortion.
How did that happen? How did they perform the abortion?
In the house of God.
In the house of God. Downstairs.
The house of God.
Church. Now, how was the process?
No. And because I was now not seeing my period, I was sick and everything. Then they took the test and I was pregnant. And then they called in another doctor to come in. And then I remember they used the old way of termination, the one where there's a steel where they pull something out. Yeah. And I remember I was scared now. I was thinking, oh my God, please don't tell Daddy, because we call TB Joshua Daddy. Please don't tell Daddy. Please, I beg, don't tell Daddy. He said, no, don't worry. Everything is fine. You're okay. Immediately after that, I chorused that practice. I went straight on stage to rehearse.
Soon after abortion?
Immediately after abortion. as if nothing ever happened.
But when you see people going there and you see TB Joshua calling them out, so you've got a spirit of lust.
Yeah.
You've got this.
Yeah.
Very Sister Sithle. She's seen him on the altar.
Right in the house.
Right in the house.
Yeah.
Some of the sisters that I stayed with, some of the sisters that I stayed with at synagogue don't have wombs. These were sisters that would confide in me and tell me, because I was worried to say, I'm having an abortion in the church, I'm going to be in trouble. And they were like, don't worry, it will be okay. After all, you are given to the church, you need to be, you are given. Because I was told I was supposed to stay there for a very long time, you know. And for me, it was a way of life where you see, disciples don't get married. If disciples do get married, you kind of get ostracized out of the church. Yes. I've got a friend, her name is Angela. She was the first white disciple to stay at the synagogue. So she got married at the church, and then she also saw things that she subsequently left. She wants nothing to do or hear or say about Synagogue Church of All Nations. She left. And me being there, I'm very vocal and I always ask. So every time at night we have disciple meetings. Now at this disciple meeting, that's when we learn the language. We learn the speech, we learn the behavior, we learn what to say, what not to do. That is why when visitors come, for example, when visitors come, most of them will say, TB Joshua's disciples are rude, they are cruel, they have no hearts, they are bullies and everything like that. But the main thing is, we told what to do, what not to do and what not. And the most amazing thing is, you are assigned. For example, if they say there's a special group coming from South Africa, you are assigned to this group, you must be in charge of them. There are certain visitors, some visitors don't come to the dining hall. Some visitors don't come to the dining hall because everyone sits in a normal dining hall. Some visitors, you are assigned to go issue and give them their food in their rooms, be it breakfast, lunch or supper. They just don't come to
so females are attached to males.
However, you are just attached.
It's not like female to female.
No, for example, I'm from South Africa, so if South Africans are there, they'll attach me to say, maybe they'll understand me better. And I'm very eloquent, I speak well, so I'll be attached to say, you look after that person and make sure that person is fine. Whatever that person wants you to do.
What is whatever?
Whatever they want you to.
Now, you were there.
Yes.
You were assigned to this rich man.
Yes.
And then the wife walked in on you.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes.
I wish I could take my clothes off to show you. So I think my parents remember this because I was flown in from synagogue because my bums, my buttocks, like the left and the right, have burn marks, right? I was burnt with hot water. I was burnt with hot, boiling water. Because unfortunately for me, this rich businessman, he is a South African. He is in South Africa.
A lot of people know him in South Africa.
He is in South Africa.
He went to TB Joshua.
He went to TB Joshua's and I was assigned to look after him. And it so happened I was caught in the act with the businessman.
How did it happen?
By the wife. You know?
Are you guys allowed to do that? They said take care of him. So
take care of him. So it was
sexuality, whatever.
So it's kind of like normal with some of the girls within the church.
It's like it's an unspoken, okay, normal thing.
Yeah.
That is the altar.
So for me, I was there and I was busy. I was on top of the man. I was busy. And the next, I could feel, it's like I felt as if cold water burnt me. Like, you know. But now remember in the dining hall, if you've been to synagogue, you know, there's always an urn that's boiling with hot water 24/7.
Yeah.
So I think that woman went there, took water, and then she came as
that's his wife.
Yes, and splashed me. You know? And when I was splashed with that water, so I quickly got dressed and then I ran down. So I ran and I reported this incident, right? And then I was taken to Daddy's office. And I explained what happened. I remember I had to, yes, I had to take off my dress to show my bums. Because now I started getting, you know, after being burnt,
So I
started getting boils on my buttocks. And then this side, I've just fornicated. This side, my bums are boiled. I was flown back into South Africa. So I flew back to South Africa and I remember I was taken to one of the private clinics here because I had 3rd-degree burns. And when I was released from the private hospital, I had to go home to heal. So if my mom and my siblings can remember this, I would walk around the house naked because I couldn't, it needed to be exposed to cold air because it would damage itself and do whatever. And every time I was told, when you are asked what happened, you must say, you were walking past the urn and the tap of the urn burst and the water burnt you.
That was my story. That was the narrative they gave you.
That was the narrative of my story.
What did TB Joshua say to you when you met him in the office and you were showing him your buttocks?
When I showed him, he said, hey, bring it down. And then I had to bring it down. And then they spoke Yoruba that I didn't understand.
Yeah.
And then the next thing I was told to go out. Then I was called back in again. Then I was told, Sister Sithle, you are flying out to South Africa. Go pack your bag. So the very next day I was flown out to South Africa. Because remember now he must contain this wealthy businessman who's funding, just bringing lots of money. So to them, they were told that I was chaste. Because I was caught in the act.
You forced yourself.
But for me, I knew that I had to go get better. And after I got better from my healings of my buttocks, I went back to synagogue. Because I stayed, I think, for about a week or two. Then I flew back to synagogue and I was there at synagogue. You know, and I remember Jabu Songwani from Joyous Celebration. He came to synagogue with his crew. And when he saw me, he's like, what are you doing here? As beautiful as you are as South African, what are you doing here? And I kind of briefed him. I said to him, Jabu, I want to go back home. I'm not happy here. He's like, so why aren't you going home? And I'm like, but I can't.
You don't understand.
He wouldn't understand. And I can't really talk much. I'm like, I can't because my passport, when you get there, your passport and everything stays in the office. I'm like, my passport and everything is there.
They take it away intentionally.
Yes. And I'm like, but I want to go home. And I remember Jabu, he was there because he was shooting, him and Joyous, a few members of Joyous Celebration. They were shooting the song, God's time is the best time. So Jabu kept on saying to me, something is wrong with this church. You need to leave. And I'm like, I wish I could leave, but I couldn't. So now I think some of the disciples saw that I was continuously talking to Jabu and the Joyous Celebration members. Then I was reported at the office. Then I was told I'm no longer allowed to be seen with them. I was assigned to a different group. That's when I bolted out. And I remember TB Joshua was walking to his room. So his bedroom is right at the end of the church. So he sleeps alone there. And I followed him up and I was...
He sleeps alone with his wife?
No. Disciples are at one level floor and then the wife is on a different level floor. They don't sleep together in the same. He's alone right at the top end of the church. So I was following, running up to say, because now I want to go back to South Africa. I don't like being here. Because I remember Jabu Songwani saying, you now look like a Nigerian. Even your English, everything. And I'm like, I want to go home. I don't want this anymore. Hey. So now... I'm very, when I want something, I want something, you know, so I think I kind of provoked or pissed him off, and the next thing, I don't know what happened. I was, boom.
TB Joshua hit you.
Yeah. And then I kind of felt that, but then I remember when he walks these disciples, so I fell onto somebody, and I went to my room, I was upset, and then obviously the sisters came and said, don't mind, holy anger, you know he's your father, you know a father disciplines a child, you are a child now, so please understand. So I had to stomach it in, and I was like, okay. All right, fine. But I still wanted to go home.
Right.
You know, then we were taken to the prayer mountain. And this for me was always something that I questioned, to say the prayer mountain that visitors go to is not the prayer mountain that TB Joshua goes to.
How's that?
You know, it's completely different. They might show you old furniture and say, this is, remember it's a script.
Yeah.
When you come to Prayer Mountain, we'll say, okay, everybody, praise the Lord. That's what we say. Good morning, praise the Lord. On your left-hand side, this is the place where TB Joshua, man of God, prays. And it's old. But that is not the one. Where he prays, God, I have seen with my own eyes.
Is that where you used to swim naked?
Please, that is where, ask Bisola, she will tell you. There, you don't know whether it's human being or fish that is there. You don't know what is going on there, but it's diabolic. You know? And that is where many people's pictures are there. If the picture is not buried, the picture is nailed to the tree. That is where everything happens. But now for us, it's like, you know, you look at back now and you say, but, like I always pinch myself and I say, but Sikhe, like you end up thinking that you're making up stories. Because you don't believe that you were in there, you were in it, you were in there. I mean, like when these people were made wise men, I laughed my head off. I was like, even me, I could have been wise woman if I wanted to. And you ask yourself, why is it that the disciple girls that are there are not married? Why is it that the disciple girls that are there don't have children? Because many have lost wombs in that process. Many disciples who came there with sicknesses. I've seen disciples die, dead bodies. When you wake up, there's a dead body and must be thrown in a trash can.
Trash can?
Yes.
I've
seen dead bodies where disciples...
In the church?
Oh my God. Disciples have ailments, but we can't be prayed for. We're just working for the church. We're working for God. And you see people... I don't know how many dead bodies or dead people I've seen within the church.
So that was a story from another lady. I make it trends on social media. So our lady in SMP concerning prophet TB Joshua. So now over social media, so enye asemke to akra NAC. Some lovers, some supporters, some church members of the late prophet TB Joshua and in the Synagogue Church of All Nations are defending him. Almost say once or tiase. Say woman for these particular videos any revelation or model to out and bad dear any they have no right to destroy the legacy of prophet TB Joshua. However, for our drink chair comment session as to what you think about what BBC end these people are doing towards Prophet TB Joshua. Any updates, however, beba yede bebremo e Vimbas TV so. Yada CP.
Vimbas TV.